Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever stopped to think about the little things in life, the moments that seem insignificant, the small choices you make every day? It's funny how often we overlook them, brushing them off as unimportant. But let me tell you, these small actions done consistently can change your life. In fact, they can change the world. You see, when people look at me, they often wonder how I can smile, how I can laugh, how I can wake up every day full of hope when I was born without arms and legs. The truth is, I didn't wake up one day with all this joy, all this purpose. It didn't just happen overnight. It was a journey of small decisions, daily choices to trust God, to persevere, to believe that my life had meaning even when I couldn't see it. When I was younger, I didn't know what my life would look like. I didn't know if I'd ever get a job, if I'd ever get married, or if I'd ever live the kind of life others considered normal. I could have let those thoughts paralyze me. I could have given up. But I didn't. Why? Because I believed even when it was hard, that small, consistent actions could lead to something greater. Every day I chose to take one step forward. It wasn't easy and it wasn't glamorous. Sometimes it was as simple as getting out of bed and deciding to smile, even when I didn't feel like it. Consistency is powerful because it creates momentum. You may not see results immediately, but every small action adds up. It's like planting seeds. When you plant a seed, you don't wake up the next morning expecting a tree, do you? Of course not. You water it, you nurture it, you give it sunlight, and over time, sometimes a long time, you begin to see growth. That's how consistency works. It's about faithfulness in the small things, knowing that they will lead to something bigger. Think about it, the greatest athletes didn't become champions by practicing once a week. The most successful businesses didn't grow because of one lucky break. And the strongest relationships weren't built on one grand gesture. They were built on daily actions, on showing up, on doing the work, and on being consistent. Let me ask you something. What small actions are you taking today that align with the person you want to become? Are you reading that one page of a book that will help you grow? Are you taking 5 minutes to reach out to someone who needs encouragement? Are you practicing gratitude even when life feels tough? These may seem like tiny, insignificant things, but they're not. They're seeds. And when you plant them consistently, they will grow into something extraordinary. I've met people all over the world who inspire me with their stories. People who have overcome incredible challenges, not because they did something huge, but because they stayed consistent. I met a woman who started running to cope with her grief. At first, she could barely run a block. But she showed up every day, running a little further, pushing herself a little harder. Years later, she completed a marathon. What started as a small action, a single step, became a massive victory. Here's the truth, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to see the entire path ahead of you. All you need to do is take the next step, just one step. And then take another. And another. Over time, those small steps will take you places you never imagined. But here's the thing about consistency, it's not always easy. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when the progress seems invisible. Days when you wonder if it's even worth it. But those are the moments that matter most. Because it's in those moments when you choose to show up anyway that you build strength, resilience, and character. Let me share something with you. There was a time in my life when I felt like giving up. I remember lying in bed, staring at the ceiling and wondering if my life would ever get better. I prayed, I cried, and I asked God why He made me this way. And then I realized something. I didn't have to know all the answers. I just had to trust Him and keep going. So I started small. I started sharing my story. I started reaching out to others who were hurting. One conversation turned into two. Two turned into 10. And now, by the grace of God, I've had the privilege of speaking to millions of people around the world. All of that started with small, consistent actions. And if I can do it, so can you. I don't care what your circumstances are or what challenges you're facing. You have the power to take small steps every day. Maybe you're trying to start a new habit, break an old one, or build something meaningful. Whatever it is, remember this. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. So my friends, don't underestimate the power of small actions. Don't let the fear of starting small hold you back. Begin where you are with what you have and commit to showing up every day. Because when you do, you'll look back one day and realize that those tiny, consistent steps led to something far greater than you ever imagined. You you have greatness within you. You have a purpose and you have the ability to make a difference, not just in your own life, but in the lives of others. So start small, stay consistent, and watch how those little actions create a big impact.